ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले सर्वोपकदामि ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलम् श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखा हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शुभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद गदाधर शिवासादि हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 ओम कृष्ण पादाय कृष्ण प्रेषाय भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे शेष शून्यवादी पाशापेशिता हरे कृष्ण। Today being the disappearance of Srila Gadadhar Pandit and also of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I will take one aspect of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which speaks about the Swabhav, the character of Sri Gadadhar Pandit. Hare Krishna. This is from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Antalila. This speaks about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's and Gadadhar Pandit's very special exchange. गदाधर पंडित तेरा शुद्ध गाढ़ भाव Rukmani Devira Yache Dakshina Swabha. Gadadhar Pandit's pure aesthetic love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also very deep. Shuddha Gad Bhav. It was like that of Rukmani Devi, who was always specially submissive to Krishna. So, how submissive was actually Gadadhar Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tested? In this episode, it will come. तारा प्राणाय रोष देखिते प्रभु रे इच्छा हया ऐश्वर ज्ञान तारे रोष नाही उपजया. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes desired to see Gadadhar Pandit's affectionate anger. This is exactly like what Lord Krishna did with Rukmani Devi. He wanted to see how Rukmani Devi reacted. So same way, sometimes he desired to see Gadadhar Pandit's affectionate anger. But because of his knowledge of the Lord's opulence, his anger was never ended. Who was in knowledge? Gadadhar. Joking with Rukmani Devi in Dwarka, Krishna once advised her to accept another husband because he was unfit for her. Rukmani Devi, however, unable to understand his joking words, took them very seriously and immediately fell to the ground in fear of separation from him. In the pastime of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagdanand Pandit was always in disagreement with the Lord like Satyabhama, whereas Gadadhar was always awed by the Lord's opulence and therefore submissive to the Lord under all circumstances. Hey Lakshapay Prabhu Kaila Roshabha Suni Pandit Tera Chitte Upajila Tran. For this purpose, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes showed him anger, apparent anger. Hearing of his anger inspired great fear in the heart of Gadadhar Pandit. Purvena Krishna Yadi Parihasa Kaila Suni Rukmani Re Mane Rasha Upajila. Previously in Krishna Lila, when Lord Krishna joked with Rukmani Devi, she took his words seriously and fear awoke in her mind. Vallabh bhatera hoya vatsala upasana Bal Gopal mantra te ho karena sevana. You know the story of Sri Vallabh Bhatt? You all know about Vallabh Bhatt? Yes or no? बोलो आप दो चार लोगों उन्हीं से पूछ रहा हूँ. वल्लभ भट्ट के बारे में क्या जानते हो रविंदर? हाँ, तो नहीं जानते. प्रियंका?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
सॉरी,
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, अभी तो याद नहीं आ रहा वाला.
नहीं जानते. रम्या, आपको पता है वल्लभ भट्ट के बारे में? किसी को पता है
हरे
तो
कृष्णा
बताओ, क्या पता है वल्लभ भट्ट के बारे में?
प्रभु जी, एक बार मंदिर में क्लास हुआ था, पर वो ठीक है या नहीं पता नहीं है. वल्लभ वल्लभ भट्ट जो है वो श्रीधर स्वामी के जो टीका को
बहुत अच्छा,
खंडन
गुड.
करे थे, इसीलिए भगवान.
यस, यस. Vallabh Bhatt was contemporary of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was like a friend of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he considered his commentary of Srimad Bhagavatam even better than the commentary of Srila Sridhar Swami, who is a great authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very displeased. क्या वो बैठ जा ना, क्यों उछल कूद कर रही है? बैठ जा गौरंगी, बैठ जा शांति से. सुनो, very good, you have very good. And So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like him to come close to him. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like him, so all the associates of Lord Chaitanya did dislike him. Nobody allowed him to come near. But this Vallabh Bhatt, he found Gadadhar, because Gadadhar was very submissive and shy. He could not tell Vallabh Bhatt not to come to him. So he came and he spoke about his commentary. And Gadadhar heard it, although he was not inclined to hear, he had no interest. But just out of etiquette, he could not say no. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed displeasure even toward Gadadhar and neglected him. So this is the background. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is neglecting and ignoring Gadadhar. And the reason for that is that Gadadhar was associating with Vallabh Bhatt. Vallabh Bhatt was accustomed to worshipping the Lord as child Krishna. These are all Pushti Margi. Yeah. So they all serve what? Bal Gopal. Bal Gopal mantra. Therefore, he had been initiated into the Bal Gopal mantra and was thus worshipping the Lord. Pandit tera sare tara mana feri gela Kishore Gopal upasanaye man dila. So because he was associating with Gadadhar, in the association of Gadadhar Pandit, his mind was converted. And he dedicated his mind to worshipping Kishore Gopal Krishna as young boy. So he changed his worship, his form of worship from Bal Gopal to Nanda Kishore. पंडित तेरा थानी चाहे मंत्र आदि सिखाई ते पंडित कहे कर्मा नहीं आमा होते. Vallabh Bhatt wanted to be initiated by Gadadhar Pandit. This is very important. The status of Gadadhar Pandit is very, very high. In the morning I said, there is no one in amongst the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate whose platform is anywhere close to Gadadhar. Not even the six Goswamis, not even Ramanand Roy, not even Sarup Damodar, no one. So this Vallabh Bhatt, he had this inspiration to be initiated by Gadadhar Pandit. But Gadadhar was very cautious. See how Gadadhar responds. He says, oh, now that Vallabh Bhatt has come to sense, he has understood my value. He wants initiation from me. Of course I will give. No. Gadadhar Pandit refused, saying the work of acting as a spiritual master is not possible for me. Why? Ami paratantra amara prabhu gaura chandra tahar agya viniyamo na hoye aswatantra. He says, Ami paratantra, that I am completely dependent. And Amar Prabhu Gaura Chandra. My Lord is Gaur Chandra Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I cannot do anything independently without his order. Tumi ye amara thani kare agamana tahe te Prabhu mora dene olahan. So finally, Gadadhar spoke. What he told Vallabh Bhatt, that my dear Vallabh Bhatt, you are coming to me is not appreciated by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, sometimes speaks to chastise me. He sometimes chastises me. Ei mate bhatera kathe kadina gela shesha yadu prabhu tare suprasanna hoila nimantra rena dine pandit bolaila Swarup Jagadananda Govinda Pathaila. Some days passed when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally pleased with Vallabh Bhatt, accepted his invitation. So Vallabh Bhatt was continuously inviting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu was rejecting it. But finally, after a long period, Mahaprabhu accepted his invitation. And the Lord sent the Swarup Damodar, Jagdanand Pandit and Govind to call for Gadadhar. So all these personalities came to get Gadadhar Pandit also along with them to go with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. पथे पंडित तेरा स्वरूप कहे ना वचन परीक्षित प्रभु तुम्हार कैला उपेक्षण. On the way, Swarup Damodar said to Gadadhar Pandit, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to test you. Therefore, he neglected. This is some kind of test. When one needs to test the character, what he should do, he should neglect the person to see how he reacts. Whether he has substance or whether he is making a show, it will be exposed. If you neglect someone, then what happens? His true character comes up. How? Because how he reacts. And the way he reacts or responds, one knows whether he is Krishna conscious or how much he is in the false ego plane. তুমি কেনা সিতারে না দিলে ওলানা পিতা প্রায় হইয়া কহে করিনা সবন. So Swarup Damodar is asking Gadadhar, why did you not retaliate by reproaching him? Whom? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking Gadadhar. Why did you fearfully tolerate his criticism? पंडित कहे न प्रभु स्वतंत्र सर्वाज्ञा शिरोमणि तारा सहे आहत करी हाल नहीं मानी. Very, very important teachings by Gadadhar. What he says? Gadadhar Pandit said, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is completely independent. He is the topmost omniscient personality. It would not look well for me to talk to him as if I were his equal. This is the position of Gadadhar. He never considered himself equal with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why he was successful. As soon as this feeling comes that I am also like him, then immediately the respect goes. And once the respect goes, then it is very difficult. Then false ego takes over. So we learn from Gadadhar Pandit. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chastising him for no fault, he was provoking him, he was testing him. But Gadadhar Pandit, he never became provoked. This is what Swarup Damodar is asking. Why did you not retaliate by approaching him? Normally, what would be the reason? The person would retaliate by saying, what is my fault? I am not going to Vallabh Bhatt. Vallabh Bhatt is coming to me. Am I going to Vallabh Bhatt? Am I asking him to hear his commentary? It is Vallabh Bhatt who is coming to me. And because he is your friend, how can I insult him? Or how can I ignore him? But we see in Gadadhar, Gadadhar is teaching us that he did not give any such excuse. Whatever the Lord chastised, he accepted it as his own. Although there was none. So this is only possible when the relationship is very strong. If the relationship is weak, it is exposed. If the relationship is really strong, then one does not see the fault of a superior, even if the superior is at fault. Why? Because of the gratitude. The attitude of gratitude. We see the gratitude here in Gadadhar. He says, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is completely independent. It would not look well for me to talk to him as if I were his equal. That makes no argument. No refutation, no argument. यही कहे यही सही निज सिरे धरी आपने करीबे न कृपा पुण्य दोष विचारी. Another very important. I can tolerate whatever he says, bearing it upon my head. He will automatically be merciful to me after considering my faults and attributes. This is the depth of relationship. And of course, if one is able to do that, his advancement in Krishna consciousness will become, very quantum. Here he is saying, he will automatically be merciful to me after considering my fault in it. He is not seeing the fault in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is neglecting him, chastising him, ignoring him, but still, he is saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be automatically merciful. Hey bale pandita prabhu sthane aila rodana kariya prabhu karana padila. So this meeting is after a long interval because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was neglecting him, not meeting him. So when being called by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after saying this, Gadadhar Pandit went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and fell down crying at his lotus feet of the day. ईसात हसिया प्रभु कैलालिंगन सबरे सुनिना कहे न मधुर वचन. Smiling slightly, the Lord embraced and spoke sweet words so that others would also hear. Ami chalailunu tumi na chalila, krodha kichu na kahila, sakala sahila. So see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu responds. I wanted to agitate you, the Lord said, but you did not become agitated. Indeed, you could not say anything in anger. Indeed, you could not say anything in anger. Instead, you tolerated everything. So Mahaprabhu is very much appreciating. Amara bhangite tomar manana chalila sudrid saral bhave amare kinila. Your mind was not disturbed by my tricks. Mahaprabhu is saying, I tried to trick you. Rather, you stayed fixed in your simplicity. In this way, you have purchased me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also known as Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit means that he is the life and soul of Gadadhar. How? He has purchased by his love, Gadadhar has purchased Lord Chaitanya. Here he is saying, Sudrida Saral Bhave Amare Kinila. In this way, you have purchased me. पंडितेरा भाव मुद्रा कहा ना याया गदाधर प्राणनाथ नाम ले आया. No one can describe the characteristics and aesthetic love of Gadadhar Pandit. Therefore, another name of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gadadhar Pranath, the life and soul of Gadadhar Pandit. पंडिते प्रभुरा प्रसाद कहा नया गदाइरा गौरांगा बोली प्यारे लोक गाया. No one can say how merciful the Lord is to Gadadhar Pandit, but people know the Lord as Gadai Gauranga, the Lord Gauranga of Gadadhar Pandit. चैतन्य प्रभु लीला की बुझीते पारा एक लीला बाहे धारा शट शट धारा. So Kaviraj Goswami is saying that no one can understand the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are like the Ganges. for hundreds and thousands of branches flow from even one of his activities. पंडितेरा सुजाए ब्राह्मण याते गुना दृढ़ प्रेम मुद्रा लोके कहिला ख्यापना. Gadadhar Pandit is celebrated all over the world for his gentle behavior, his Brahmanical attributes, and his steady love for Sri Chaitanya. अभिमान पंकधुना भट्टे रसोधीला सेई द्वारे और सब लोक सिखाइला. The Lord purified Vallabha by cleansing him of the mud of falsehood. By such activities, the Lord also instructed others. Antare anuraga bahay upekshara praya bahay artha ye laye sei nashaya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually always merciful within his heart, but he was sometimes externally negligent to his devotees. We should not be preoccupied by his external feature. Kaviraj Goswami is cautioning us that we should not be preoccupied with his external feature. However, for if we do so, we shall be vanquished. बाहे अर्थ यही लय सेई नाशया. निगूढ़ चैतन्य लीला बुझिते का सारा शक्ति सेई बुझे गौर चंद्रा लाए दृढ़ भक्ति. The pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very deep. Who can understand them? Only one who has firm, deep devotion to his lotus feet can understand these pastimes. दीना अंतरे पंडित कैला प्रभुरा निमंत्रण प्रभु ताहा भिक्षा कैले लाए निज गण. Another day, Gadadhar Pandit invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to dinner. The Lord took prasadam with his person associate at Gadadhar Pandit's home. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu acted as a very merciful well-wisher towards Vallabh Bhatt by externally neglecting him in many ways to purify him of his false pride in being a learned scholar. The Lord neglected Gadadhar Pandit for a few days because of his associating with Vallabh Bhatt. Actually, he was not at all displeased with Gadadhar Pandit. Indeed, because Gadadhar Pandit is a personal potency of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is no chance of the Lord being dissatisfied with him. However, a person who is too much attracted to external cannot understand the deep meaning of these dealings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If one therefore becomes disrespectful to Gadadhar Pandit, he will surely be vanquished. ताहे वल्लभ भट्ट प्रभु रे आज्ञा लैला पंडित ताहे पूर्व प्रतिष्ठा सब सिद्धि होइला. There Vallabh Bhatt took permission from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his desire to be initiated by Gadadhar Pandit was thus fulfilled. So Gadadhar Pandit became the spiritual master of Vallabh. Yesterday I was reading, there is Gadadhar Ashtakam. That Gadadhar Ashtakam is composed by Srila Gadadhar Goswami. And Srila Gadadhar Goswami in Gadadhar Ashtakam is many times referring to as Gadadhar Pandit as his spiritual master. Actually, Gadadhar Pandit acted as the spiritual master of all other associates of Lord Chaitanya, apart from Nityananda Prabhu and Vaidya Prabhu. They were much senior in age. But in spite of having so much intimacy, so much closeness, and such an exalted position, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never compromised the position. I'll show you how. Okay, you can see the screen. Screen दिख रहा है? अरे
प्रभु जी।
बोल तो सही हाँ या ना?
यस प्रभु जी।
यार क्या हो गया तुमको? हाँ रेस्पॉन्ड नहीं करते हो। एक दिन
प्रभु जी,
गदाधर देव प्रभु स्थाने कही लेना पूर्व मंत्र दीक्षा करने. So while Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri and Gadadhar was also in Puri. So one day Gadadhar approached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and in confidentiality he said, one day Gadadhar Pandit asked the Lord about the initiation mantra he had been given. इष्ट मंत्र आमी ये कहिलु न कर प्रति से ही हाथे आमार न स्फुरे भालमती. He said, I have given someone my initiation mantra. Gadadhar is saying, here very attentive, very, very deep discourse. गौरांगी बैठ जाओ, सुनो. I have given someone my initiation mantra and now I am not getting realization from chanting it. Say mantra tumi mora kaha punarbara tabe mana prasanta hoibe amara. So you please give me that mantra to me again. Then my mind will be joyful. So mantra refers to the sound vibration by which one can give up thoughts of material enjoyment. This is the purpose of mantra. If an instructor instructs mantra to faithless person, his heart becomes polluted. We are very attentive. It is saying that if one gives mantra to a faithless person, the person who is giving the mantra, his heart becomes polluted. If one loses transcendental knowledge because of bad association, then one must gather it again. Knowing this fact, Srila Gadadhar Pandit Goswami requested Sri Gaur Sundar to give him reinitiation. But Mahaprabhu told him to receive mantra again from his original guru. Sri Gadadhar Pandit Guru was Sri Pundrik Vidyanidhi. प्रभु कहे तुम्हारा ये उपदेष्टा छे सर्वधन तथा अपराधी होए पाछे. The Lord said, you already have a spiritual master, so be careful. Don't become an offender. Very deep teachings in this discourse. मंत्रेरा की दया प्राण अमर्थो मर उपदेष्टा ताकीते ना होए व्यवहार. See what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. First he said that why you are asking me? Why you are asking me to give you the mantra? I did not initiate you. You already have a spiritual master. So, in the presence of your present spiritual master, you are asking mantra for someone else. Then what you are doing? You are creating a great offense against your spiritual master. So Mahaprabhu warned him that be careful, don't become an offender. And then he says, what to speak of mantra? I can even give my life to you. Mahaprabhu speaking to Gadadhar. But it would not be proper to give you mantra while your spiritual master is alive. गदाधर बोले तिहु ना छेने था ताहा परिवर्ते तुम्ही करा सर्वथा. So Gadadhar replied that my spiritual master Pundrik Vidyanidhi is not here. He is a far off place. So you can do it in his place. What is the difficulty? प्रभु बोले तुम्हारा ये गुरु विद्या निधि अनायास तुम्हारा मिलिया दिव्य विधि. The Lord then said, by the arrangement of providence, your spiritual master Pundarik Vidyanidhi will soon come and you will easily meet him. Sarvagya Chudamani Jnane na sakala Vidyanadi Shigra Gati Asive Utkala. The crest jewel of omniscient person knew everything. That is Lord Chaitanya. He said, Pundarik Vidyanidhi will arrive soon in Puri. You will meet him here in 10 days, for he is coming just to see me. I always remember Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Now I understand that you have attracted him to come here. In this way, Lord happily spent his days hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar. See the principle of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Every day he is going and hearing from Gadadhar Bhagavatam. But he refused to give him the mantra. This is actually the real instructor. He will never ever compromise because you are doing some service to him. So he will break the principle and put you into hellish condition, or he will also go to the hellish condition. I'll give you one instance. Very, very powerful instance. When Srila Prabhupada was initiating the Hare Krishna movement, initially he had one personality called Bruce, who became the first batch of initiation as Brahmanand Prabhu. You all have heard about Brahmanand Prabhu? Yes, no? You should know. If you don't know Brahmanand Prabhu, then you don't know ISKCON. He was the first president of our first temple in New York. And Brahmanand Prabhu, when he became a full-time devotee, he brought his life earnings. Whatever he had earned, whatever he had saved, whatever asset he was. So he converted it into dollars and brought that big amount and offered to Srila Prabhupada as an offering, as a surrendering. And Prabhupada accepted it to propagate Krishna consciousness. So then at that time, Prabhupada, when Srimad Bhagavatam came from printing, same time when they were talking. So Brahmanand Prabhu requested Prabhupada that can you please give me this book? This is your latest Srimad Bhagavatam book, so that I can read and relish. And you know what Prabhupada told him? You will be shocked. Prabhupada said, I cannot give it to you for free. You have to pay for it. Who in this world can do so? Just now, Brahmanand Prabhu gave him thousands of dollars. And after receiving that money, Prabhupada is saying, I will not give you this book, which is $5 free. Brahmanand Prabhu went back to his place of work, worked there for a few days, got dollars, came back, gave it to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada with affection gave him this book. This is the principle. This is the principle. If both the instructor and the instructed are pure, principle has to be present. Never ever think anything cheap or easy. In spiritual life, as soon as there is familiarity, it is very dangerous. It is very, very dangerous. As soon as there is slight familiarity, the relationship is lost. And we see in this case of Gadadhar, both the cases, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first he neglected him. But Gadadhar, he never lost his respect. You see the case of Arjuna. What a personality. We see in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, 4th verse, 5th verse. After seeing the injustices, so much injustice was done towards the Pandavas. And in that injustice, Bhishma and Drona were always a part of the injustice which was done towards the Pandavas from the Kauravas. And they never spoke. So many times the Kauravas tried to kill them. They tried to poison them, put them in the fire. They cheated them with the game of gambling. Yeah. They insulted Draupadi, took away the kingdom, threw them in the exile for so many years. But the respect of Arjuna toward Bhishma and Drona was not affected even an inch. He never considered them to be the cause of lesson. That is why I say, Guruni Hatva Imahanubhava Shreyo Bhaktam Bhakshamupi Muloke. So here we see both are not compromising. This is the relationship, spiritual relationship. When it was Gadadhar Pandit's turn, because he was being neglected, he was being chastised, he never lost his respect for Lord Chaitanya. And because of the affection and the service that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was receiving from Gadadhar, he also never compromised. He refused. He said, I will not give you any mantra. And if you are asking me mantra, that means you are offending your spiritual master. It's very important. Another important aspect is that you should never be greedy to take the disciples of anyone else. Not that in our parampara that was not good. Not good. Unless and until the spiritual master himself goes, tells the disciple. Like we see in the case of Shri Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur's spiritual master is the spiritual master of Shri Narottam Das Thakur. बोलो जल्दी बोलो प्रियंका
लोकनाथ गोस्वामी
हाँ
प्रभु जी लोकनाथ गोस्वामी
हाँ Loknath Goswami. So Loknath Goswami himself sent him. You go and take instructions from Srila Goswami. Shyamanand Pandit. But when there was Shyamanand Pandit Prabhu's case also, Shyamanand Pandit Prabhu, Jiva Goswami did not initiate, did not change his name or his pila. But there was such a big furor. So here it is very important. Never ever try to bypass your spiritual master. Never be influenced. Today I was shocked. I'll share with you something. Don't speak to anyone else. I was hearing one clip of Premanandji Maharaj. And in his own style, he was saying that Gadadhar Pandit is a very Virat Mahatma. How is Gadadhar Pandit a Virat Mahatma? Gadadhar Pandit is Srimati Radharani. And he is saying that he is such a big disciple or devotee of Radharani. He does not know. But this is it. People are completely mad and blind and ignorant. Very, very difficult. So we are very privileged. But the point is, with the privilege, there is principle. And if we don't maintain the principle, then there is no spiritual relationship. A spiritual relationship is based upon principles. both ways. The principle is of respect and the principle is of Siddhanta. It can never be compromised under any condition. We see here, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu flatly refusing and telling and warning Gadadhar that if you try to take initiation or mantra from anyone else, you are committing a great offense. This I could not speak in the morning, but I was feeling vacant. Because of course there was time. I was just giving the Gadadhar Tattva and it became 9. Then I had to speak, of course, on Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur also. So these are very, very special dealings. This is that Chaitanya Charitamrita is so special. There is a cream of body of Vaishnava. Because it is fully loaded with the principles of Vaishnavism. Okay, I'll go ahead. ये मत प्रभु प्रिया गदाधर संगे ताहा मुखे भागवते सुनेता खरंगे. In this way, the Lord happily spent his day hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar, not caring for his mantra. And what he is hearing? This Prahlada Charitra or Dhruvera Charitra Shatabhati Kariya Sunena Savahita. The Lord attentively heard the glories of Prahlad and Dhruva hundreds of times. Just imagine. To hear hundreds of times. After hearing Prahlad Charitra, he would hear Dhruva Charitra. And after hearing Dhruva Charitra, he would again hear Prahlad Charitra. And how many times? Hundreds of times. This is called transcendental taste. If the taste is transcendental, it is never the same. It is never boring. It is never, the right word is hackneyed. You know the word hackneyed? Prabhupada writes, like we are chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna mantra can never be hackneyed. Entire life we will chant. And there should be enthusiasm to chant. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing so much of enthusiasm to hear Srimad Bhagavatam that hundreds of times over and over again, he is hearing Prahlad Charitra and Dhruva Charitra. And from whom? From Gadadhar Pandit. And the other verse is even more intense. और कार्य प्रभु रे नाही का अवसर नाम गुण बोले ना सुने ना निरंतर. He had no time for any other activity. His only activity was to hear the glories of Prahlad and Dhruva, or the glories of devotees. For he had no time for any other. He was constantly engaged in hearing and chanting the names and qualities of Krishna and his devotees. Bhagavad pade Gadadhar Mahashoye Damodar Swarupera Kirtana Vishoye. Just as Gadadhar was expert in reciting Bhagavatam, Swarup Damodar was expert in performing Kirtan. So, okay, I will stop here. So this was the two aspects of exchange or relationship between Gadadhar Pandit and Lord Chaitanya. There are many, many more. Every year there will be appearance and disappearance, and by mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we will have newer and newer understanding and newer discussion. There is no limit or there is no end to the understanding and relishment of loving exchanges between the Supreme Lord and his loving devotees. Sri Gadadhar Pandit Tirobhav Titi Mahamahotsav ki jai. Bhakti Vinod Thakur Tirobhav Titi Mahamahotsav. Jai God. Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to say something? Bola? Quickly respond. It is late. It is already 9:28. You should speak. When you get the opportunity, You should speak. There should be enthusiasm to speak and contribute and glorify. Yes, Darshan.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this is very much inspiring. Actually, you spoke this many times, but this verse, first time I saw this, that Lord is hearing this character of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj 100 of times. Yes, Prabhuji.
How one can hear again and again? Because one is having that transcendental taste. How we can eat again and again? Yeah, morning we will eat, afternoon again we will eat, evening again we will feel like eating. Why don't we say, यार कितनी बार खाएंगे? खा तो रहे हैं. So many times we have eaten, so many days, so many years we are eating. We never say that. We are never tired of eating. Are we ever tired of eating? Are we ever tired of sleeping? No. Similarly, those who are infatuated by sex, they are never tired of having sex. So this is what? This is bodily conception. So if we have a spiritual perception, then how can we be tired of the spiritual activity? And you see, I am giving you every time newer pastimes. I am not repeating. For so many years, these pastimes were never spoken to you. And in the morning also, I was amazed. I did not knew that last year also I gave the class here in our temple. When I was seeing my note, I got it yesterday. Then I heard the full lecture. And my lecture today in the morning for Gadadhar is completely different. I did not repeat anything what I spoke. Mostly I did not repeat. I presented it completely differently. How could I present? Because there is so much. There is no limit. And if I get a chance next year, I have prepared something else. That also I have prepared. It will be completely different. So this is the newness of the spiritual matter. It is never ending. The glories are unlimited. We have just got few drops of the oceans. So what we have got is what? Not even an iota. The entire ocean is left. Okay. My heart is already speaking that if we go to South India Yatra, we will hear Chaitanya Charitamrita. And it is good that if we go by train, because we will get opportunity to hear for a long time. See what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying? He is saying, "Aur kaay kare na Prabhu ne nahi avsar." Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, for me there is no need to do anything else. It is all useless. You heard the second verse, which I said it is even more intense. They are all useless things. I am not interested. Okay. So thank you very much. Pushottam, you will be coming on 17th. 17th evening.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So you decide 17th evening you will go to Dayashil's house or you will come and stay with me. Your choice. I have already booked the room on 17th. I have booked the room for 17th and 18th both. Okay. You decide and let me know. That's your choice. श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय, निताई गौर प्रेम।